Hi, welcome to the Climate Change and Biodiversity podcast. I'm your host, Zoe, and throughout the series, I'll be talking to some of my peers about the effects of climate change on biodiversity and, in turn, the influences on our health. The purpose of this podcast is to increase the awareness and understanding of climate change and its impacts. Today, I'll be sitting down with James to discuss the impact of natural disasters and extreme weather events. Hi, James, welcome.
Hi Zoe, thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
All right, so today we're going to talk a little bit about natural disasters and extreme weather. I was wondering if you wanted to start by telling us uh, about what natural disasters are.
Yeah, sure. So a natural disaster is defined as a serious disruption of the functioning of a community or society involving widespread human, material, economic, or environmental losses and impacts. So a natural disaster exceeds the community's or society's ability to respond with its use of its own resources. A natural disaster, it's more about the damage that it causes than the impact on the community. So if you think about focusing on the damage rather than the event, that's what a natural disaster is. Um, I thought this was interesting. Before I did any research, I thought I knew what a natural disaster was. But after doing some research and reading a few articles, I realized that it's more about the long term effect and the community's ability to respond.
Yeah, I feel like what we hear in the media definitely focuses on the disaster at its worst point. And from there, we don't get much discussion about the devastation that it's caused for communities. Or if we do, it's really only the immediate impact that gets talked about and not the long term effects. We don't really hear 6 months, 12 months, 5 years down the line what the true impact was.
Yeah, that's right. It's only really like a couple of days, and then kind of move on from it. Yeah. Well, how natural disasters or climate extremes kind of occur is the composition of the atmosphere changes. There's a shift in mean climate of both hot and cold weather. What is predicted is that there will be an increase in warmer climate, um, leading to more extreme hot days and heat waves. It is said that the hottest day will likely occur every other year by the end of the 21st century, whereas it only used to happen every 20 years. Now, say it gets to the 21st century and 20 years go by, that's another 10 degrees Celsius that the hottest day will be. So say it's already at, say, 50, it now jumps to 60 degrees Celsius. I'm now questioning if people can survive that. That's going to lead to more deaths. And actually, there's an article that suggests that in Manhattan, New York, deaths will rise by more than 15% by 2080 due to an increase in this net temperature. So the studies are suggesting that if we keep going on the way that we're going and temperatures keep increasing, that people will die. If more time goes on, the hotter the days that will happen. It's going to get to 70 degrees, 80 degrees Celsius. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary to think about.
Yeah, and that's probably just beyond the scope of what we can handle, I guess. So
Yeah, for sure.
there's obviously established discussion around impact on humanity. I was wondering if you can tell us about the effects on our planet's ecosystems as well.
Yeah, so it definitely affects more than just human lives. Um, as the intensity and the frequency of these natural disasters increase, it's going to result in the degradation of environments and can affect ecosystems, um, and even destroy habitats or even the organism altogether. This will lead to a decline in biodiversity, as organisms are just killed.
Hmm. Yeah, so we're not only seeing the consequences to our populations, but also our wildlife populations, contributing to this loss in biodiversity, which makes sense because, we're always hearing about animals going into extinction or being endangered. And I guess there's not a lot of talk on what's causing that. And I think natural disasters and extreme weather is absolutely one of the major causes to this.
I would agree, and yeah, it can get quite bad. It's seen that natural disasters can actually lead to armed conflict as well. And this makes sense because as a natural disaster goes through a community, their community is torn apart. All the rules and laws that used to be kind of just disappear. There's no street lights. The roads are shut down if there's even roads left. So people are kind of going into like a fight or flight response. Yeah, it's more than just some water going over community. It destroys these communities. It can have some really major effects.
Okay, so given we obviously see increasing natural disasters as the years go on, is there anything we can do to minimize this?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think it just comes down to doing the simple things. Just trying to do your part. It doesn't have to be big. You don't have to try and change the world. I feel like if everyone just does the small things, it will add up to big results. And that's the hardest part. Is trying to get everyone on board. But that is the key. If everyone does the small things, it will add up to big results. If you're listening and you're worried about what might be or what could be, just continue or start trying to do your part. Use less energy, lower your cooling and heating, walk or cycle to work, eat more vegetables, things like that. And that doesn't mean you have to walk or cycle to work every single day. Maybe once a week, 3 times a fortnight, whatever it is, whatever you can handle. I think that's the important part.
Yeah, so we just need to trust that even the small things, or in our eyes, the small things that we're doing do still have impact down the line.
And I'm a university student, so I feel like we're kind of the leaders in this. If we start trying to do the small things, promote it to our friends, hopefully something will happen.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think this has been an informative and healthy discussion. So thank you so much, James.
Yeah, it's no worries. It's been great. I've had some fun. Thank you for having me.
I hope you enjoyed our discussion today. As always, feel free to listen and engage with our other episodes. For more information and access to other events or resources, you can visit the Global Climate Change Week website at www.globalclimatechangeweek.net, or feel free to follow Global Climate Change Week on Twitter at GCC Week.